So we are currently approaching the end of 2024, and all I have to say as a Rat Caviar fan, rap music was pretty trash this year. You had to think about the people who listen to Rat Caviar, which is me. I don't listen to Rat Caviar, but the type of music I listen to is always on Rat Caviar, so that's why I'm gonna call myself a Rat Caviar fan. You're like, yo, you need to let me talk about how good the year first started. We had 21 Savage drop his American Dream album, banger album, great album. We're starting off the year strong. It was dropped in January. You had Cardi being consistent. Cardi being consistent, unheard of. That guy was actually being consistent. He was dropping and dropping and dropping. It was what a time to be alive at that time, which wasn't even that fucking long ago. 2024 seems like it just started like a couple months ago. That's how fast this year's been going by. But let me continue. Then we had Vultures 1, the rollout for it and everyone. I think Vultures 1 was actually a good album. I think it's overhated. If you don't like it, I can see why you don't like it. But personally, I liked it because I'm a huge fan of Ty Dolla Sign, and he carried that album heavily. The production was awesome, great on that album as well. And then we can't forget about We Don't Trust You. Personally, didn't really like the album. We know why that album was a moment in time, moment in history that everyone's gonna be like, that's when the Kendrick and Drake beef started. Which, man, that carried this year, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Obviously, had liked that Kendrick hidden feature, by the way, just freaking snapped on there. Diss Drake, said your album's kind of trash, bro. What you talking about? First person shooter. What you gonna do? And then that just started the beef. That beef went on for like about a month. It was literally legendary. It was awesome. I'm a huge fan of Drake and everything, but the back and forth was just awesome to witness. It was great music overall. What's happened since then? I'm gonna be honest with you. In terms of mainstream hip hop, complete garbage. Complete garbage, mid, or just complete trash, I can talk about so many artists I've listened to albums that have been all garbage, forgettable, or mid. Like, for instance, I could talk about Vultures 2. Horrible. Production, god awful, unfinished, AI. What are we doing here? What are some of these tracks? They're abysmal. Why are we dropping an unfinished product? They had to update it 20 times. Some bullshit like that. They're still updating it to this day. Embarrassment of an album, really. You had Uzi, Eternal Take 2. Going in there with a lot of hype. I love Uzi. Pink Tape was solid. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I know people hated it. I didn't. I had a lot of songs I saved, so I can't say I hated it. Garbage album. Maybe saved like 4 or 5 songs on there. Garbage. Felt like a throwaway. Felt like it was trolling me. Right? Then you had Polo G, Hood Poet. Forgettable album. Listen to it. Maybe save 2 songs. Just forgettable. You had Lil Tecca's album, Plan A. Again, not great. His last album he dropped the previous year, significantly better. Tech is a way better album. You had Rod Wave dropping the same album every single year like he does because he's Rod Wave, dropping the same song, same album every single year. It's like copy paste. It's pretty garbage. You had Destroy Lonely drop an album this year. Like, do you not see the trend here? Like, can you tell me a mainstream album that dropped this year that's rap was good? You're gonna come tell me that Tyler Creator dropped a great album? I saw everyone glazing him on the TL. That's not true. He did not drop a great album. That hella cap. You think he dropped a great album? You're lying to yourself. You had J. Cole drop an album, forgettable album. Ain't no one's bumping that anymore. If you're a J. Cole fan, stan, whatever, probably defending that album with your life on the line, like it's Whole Lotta Red again. We not doing that. Cardi's not even dropping anymore. What's going on, guys? Come on. It's 2024. And this year has been garbage. Garbage. We started so strong. What are we doing? Like, honestly, what are we doing? The year started off so promising. I remember I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, yo, this year for hip hop is probably going to be the best year ever. Because I was like, the early one's going to be dropping. Right? No, we didn't. Like, nothing good has happened. Like nothing has good has happened since then. Since the Drake and Kendrick beef. Literally, nothing has good has happened. People are going to tell me, oh, Tyler's album was great. I don't like Tyler's music. I don't like his music. If you like it, awesome. But all I'm gonna say is, if you go to a Tyler concert, what are you doing there? Like, what are you supposed to do there? Like, you're supposed to are you supposed to jump around or something? Like, what do? You just sing? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just want to diss some people here, but I just want to piss you off. But yeah, this year has been garbage. Like, I've been a hip hop fan. Like, started listening to rap music since quarantine, so 2020, and every year, I'm gonna be honest with you, has been pretty good, but this year has been the worst. Easily has been the worst. I have not saved that much music that has been new this year. It's sad to say that one of my favorite albums that dropped this year was a Gunna album. His album was decent. Oh yeah, don't forget about We Don't Trust You. That album was mid. Was it good? And then you had the We Still Don't Trust You, the deluxe, the volume 2, whatever we're calling it. Fucking garbage. No one's going back to it. There's a reason it has significantly less streams than the first one. You had Future drop his little mixtape. Listen to Petoskey, and you'll know why that album is garbage. So what are we doing? Like, come on. I listed off so many names, and I had to tell you, none of them dropped anything good. The only one I could tell you that dropped something kind of good, decent, was like Gunna 101. There's some bangers on there. If you want to say We Don't Trust You, fine. I saved about maybe 8 songs on there. Like, that's a fucking banger. It's a classic. Hasn't even been out for a year, but it was a classic. But like, and then maybe American Dream. But that's kind of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's not much to save from this year. I listened to Denzel Curry's album. That's solid. Nothing crazy really. It's just I have a hard time for me to like stick this. I have a hard time having these songs stick to my head. Like they come out they go in one ear and come out the other. It's like none of these songs are sticking. It's like fast food music, like people like to describe it. And that's just what this year has been. It's nothing just but fast-paced music. It's like we're just moving on to the next thing. It's like you dropped your album today and no one's bumping it next week. It's like no one cares anymore. It's sad to think that some of my favorite albums that dropped this year or songs are from like a deluxe. Like Ken Carson's deluxe for A Great Chaos was actually really good. There's like 6 edition songs and it was great. I enjoyed that. Kid Leroy's deluxe for his album, I enjoyed that too. It's not really hip hop. He doesn't really make that rap music as much as he used to, but that's still something I enjoyed more than I've listened to with the new albums this year because they just haven't been good. They haven't been solid. Like this year has been absolutely garbage. Like I don't know how else to say it. This year has been disappointing. First quarter of the year was awesome. Great start. We had Kendrick, we had Drake going back and forth. That was awesome. I love Drake. Not a fan of Kendrick, but he did his thing. Dropped the fucking hit with Not Like Us. It was a banger, you know? And then what happened? Like Cardi was being so consistent in the year. I thought he was gonna drop his album this year. Turns out he's not. Seems like he's gonna be dropping it next year because he had a bundle deal and it's like expected by April and it's like, bro, we're like in September. What you mean April? So the album's not coming out. We had The Weeknd collab with Cardi. He had the song with Timeless. So I guess that was a cool thing. You know, you had Cardi get on a song like Carnival and stuff. Like he actually popped on a bunch of songs this year, so I guess that was kind of good. That was kind of cool. But they were overdoing it with Cardi. Cardi was doing like the same fucking flow on every single feature with the same voice, which I know it's a different sound from Whole Lotta Red, but please do not abuse it right now when you're going to use that sound for your new album. So there's really not much for me to say other than this year has been really disappointing for mainstream hip-hop. Remember, I'm a Rat Caviar fan. Please have mercy on my soul. I'm sorry. I'm just a Rat Caviar fan. I'm a little basic, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to listen to the fucking mainstream shit. I've listened to some underground stuff, you know. I've listened to like someone like Midwest. I like Midwest a lot. I've listened to Ian. I'm not the biggest fan of Ian. He's alright. He's cool. He's got some good songs. I'll say that. But even that, it's just like, like I don't know. Like there's Sofago, but like what is there to say about Sofago in 2024? Like, boy, slow down, dropping that BS music. Like, oh yeah, and then they free Young Thug, and then they locked up Lil Durk. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. Although I think Gunna is better than Young Thug and Lil Baby. I mean, Lil Baby gonna drop a album. Is he really gonna save 2024? I doubt it. He's pretty washed too. I'm just rambling at this point, and this year was really disappointing. This was the worst year in the decade of the 2020s, in my opinion, in terms of hip hop music. Because I feel like we've always gotten something, like an album that stuck out that was mainstream. Like last year was like Utopia. And we had like albums like Tech come out. We had albums like Pink Take come out. 222 by Lil TJ. That was a great album too. A lot of memorable stuff from last year. You had For All the Dogs come out too. I think I said that already, but you had that stuff come out. And then you had Gunna drop that massive ass fucking song last year. But this year it's just like we kind of have nothing really. What is there that really stuck besides the Not Like Us track? Like nothing. That's not even from an album. That came from a beef, which the beef was legendary. But outside of that, like, what is there? Like ASAP Rocky was supposed to drop. His ass never dropped. His ass is never dropping. Just want to let you know this. He's more focused on his wife. But Rihanna, if you're watching, please drop. I don't want your husband to drop. I want you to drop, please. You make better music than ASAP Rocky. Alright, well, that's enough for me rambling for today. Don't forget that Ice Spice also dropped this year. And funny enough, I don't even think she had the worst album this year. I think it was Destroy Lonely, but that's the topic for another day.